welcome. My name is Joey. I'm so glad you're here. I am super excited because every month I get 2 bead boxes shipped directly from the Czech Republic, and this is the second one that I'm unboxing and creating with for the month of January. And this one is called Bohem style. This box is special because this is a DIY jewelry kit. So every month this box comes with all of the findings and all of the beads and everything that you need, literally separated in little packages for you to make 2 complete pieces of jewelry. And you also get a link to a video tutorial that takes you to a step-by-step video on how to connect the pieces. So this is the little thumbnail of the 2 pieces for this month. Every month these are highly textural and interesting. There's beautiful focal beads, and so if you are newer to jewelry making, this is perfection. But if you've been around like me for years and years, you get such amazing findings and such amazing beads to work with that you can also branch out and do your own thing with this box. So that's what I usually do, but I do like to show you the 2 projects. It's a bracelet and a necklace this month, and it's super easy to do. And as you can see, what beautiful projects. So I'm going to set this aside. We also got a sweet little note in the box this month from Natalia and the Kraftika team, just talking about what we're getting this month. But look at this collection of beads. It's so beautiful. It is a grouping of blues and greens with copper accents, and you get everything that you need. There's even some beautiful seed beads in this box. I am going to do my unboxing as quickly as I can because I've already designed 2 projects. I'm going to do one in this video. So let me grab a little piece of wire so that I can keep my fingers out of the way to show you the beads. And I'm going to start with this beautiful blue tile bead with the star in the middle, and it is washed on the edge with gold and around the middle. This is a table cut bead, which, you know, is that nice flat cut. It has a beautiful thickness on the side. I just love it. We also received that bead in this beautiful green with the Picasso finish, as well as a copper wash. And then this one is gorgeous. This looks like a cameo to me. This is that beautiful oval green. It's a little concave in the middle on both sides, and it has that starburst in the middle that's also got the copper wash, so you can really see the detail in the bead. And then I hope the camera is showing the beautiful Picasso finish that is going around the profile of the bead. They're just stunning. You can't go wrong with Czech glass beads. They're such high quality, and there is so much beautiful detail. If you've been on my channel, you've heard me say this over and over again, that they are just each a little piece of art that you're holding in your hand. So in this box, we also got these gorgeous copper stars. They're half crystal and half copper. I love those little 5-point stars. And I have an entire special organizing bin for the faceted Czech glass rounds. I love all the sizes. The facets on these beads are very impressive. Beautiful facets all the way around. I love the Picasso wash on this. And then we got these beautiful, really petite copper dagger beads. I love those. This is a possibility for the project that I'm going to do first off. And then a few of my little square tile beads with the hole at the top of the square are missing from my dish because they are in my sample project. And then I love these. These almost look like they are metal. They are glass, but they have a metallic look. They are a twisted teardrop, and the drill hole, or the hole, is right at the top of that bead. So honestly, I've done projects with these before. You can literally just put a jump ring through that hole and, you know, add it to an ear wire and you have earrings. So if you decide you don't want to do the projects that are, you know, these beads are designated for. If you have a shop that you need some items for, if you need to create some things for a craft fair, or if you have gifts to give, you can, like, there's 6 of those. You could do 3 fast pairs of earrings. You know, I can't say enough good things about this box. They ship internationally at a very reasonable rate, cheaper than what I can often get things here from state to state. So, you know, I just love this company. I've been so thrilled getting these boxes every month since I found this company. So here's another one of the faceted check glass rounds, and that is like the richest, deepest copper, maybe bronze. I don't know, it looks really coppery to me, but again, you know, if I didn't know that was glass, it looks like it could be metal. And then there were these smooth, round check glass drucks in this bead, and again, it's like a matte finish on this. But it almost looks like a pearl, but it's not. It's a glass druck, but it's that beautiful, a little bit more pale copper finish on that one. And then, as I said, we always get some focal beads in this box. And for the necklace project that they designed these beads for, this is the main focal drop in the middle of the multi-strand necklace. It's gorgeous. I have these in a few other colors, but look at that rich, deep, beautiful blue. It's so gorgeous. This is going to go in my second project in another video. I already decided what I'm doing with that guy. And then here's some little tiny 3mm check glass faceted rounds in that lovely copper. I love getting those. And then here is a fluted or melon bead in the check glass matte copper finish. I love that. And I think that might even go into my next project. And then here are some 6mm check glass faceted rounds in that same pretty copper, and a lovely little stash of pinch beads in that same beautiful copper. I just love it. So the box is just beautifully curated. Did I miss anything? Okay. And I put the seed beads out here because I am using these in my project. I'm going to just put a few on here. You'll see these in my project, but they just give you such quality. I love getting seed beads. I have an ever-growing stash of seed beads because even though my main type of jewelry is not bead weaving or seed beading, these are workhorses in design. They are really powerful. They can extend the length of any neck. If you have a length or a strand, I meant to say, of beads that are more expensive, gemstone beads, but you don't have enough for a necklace or whatever you wanted to make, you can match your seed bead color and extend the length of that, and they make amazing spacers. They add texture to things when you need a little texture. If you need to add in an accent color but you don't want it to be too much, you can easily do that with seed beads. So I love that, and they coordinate everything beautifully, so your seed beads match your other beads, and it's just wonderful. It's so exciting. And then, as I said, there are 2 full projects, so you get all of your findings, the rings that you need, the lobster claw, the head pins, eye pins, jump rings. And I love, they very often put in these extender chains for their pieces, and I just love that. I love that their extender chains have this little teardrop on the bottom. I have a thing about a naked link on the end of an extender chain. I just don't like it. It looks unfinished to me. So theirs always come like that. This is going to go in my next project. I will do this in another video, but I'm so excited about getting this copper curb chain. I wish you could feel it because this is a very hefty, it has a really nice weight to it, and it's got a nice chunkiness to it, and it is going to be perfect for my second design. And then they always include the crimp beads that you can flat crimp and bead stringing wire, so you have everything that you need. So I'm going to move some of these things out of the way that I will not be using today. Let me show you guys my prototype. I am doing this fabulous earring. I did not finish making my sample earring because when I do the second one along with you, I want to cut that wire, measure the other wire with this one so that the little finishing touch I'm going to do will look pretty much the same as the 2 earrings. So I'm doing wire wrapped loops on this, a very large loop, pretty large, for the bottom drop, a pretty normal one to go on my ear wire at the top, and I have mixed in the seed beads, those beautiful green 4mm Czech glass faceted rounds, the 3mm copper ones, and the little square beads. There were 6 of them in the box, so that was perfect to put 3 on each earring. But this design also looks lovely if you put a dagger bead here. These are beautiful, so let me lay it down. But you could also change this up, so you could do the copper dagger beads. For that, you could even do both. You could add them in if you wanted to do both, but the little squares were a little bit unique, so I kind of stuck with the squares, but you could really play with this design as you make your pattern. So let me show you what I have done. I have some eye pins, but you can totally make your own eye pins with your wire. Let me get a few out here. I need 5 of them. I have a little length of 22 gauge copper wire that I'll be working with, and I have some ear wires. Okay, so to start off with, I am going to use one of the head pins, and I'm going to go ahead and create my downward drops. It's a little bit easier to pick up seed beads from the mat than it is from a little pot. So the pattern that I created is 5 seed beads, and then 4, 5, can't talk and count at the same time, 5 seed beads, and then 1 of the green faceted rounds, and then another 5 seed beads. And I have an effortless way to make these rods, and for earrings I really like effortless, all my loops matching. So I'm going to take my smallest 1.5mm one-step looper and put a loop in the end, so I have a loop on each end of this rod. So I have my head pin going through the guide hole. I have my seed beads pretty close to the front jaw of the tool, and I can see that everything is lined up. And now this tool right here makes a fresh cut, and I'm controlling here. I'm going to slowly make that loop, pull my seed beads away from the jaw of the plier. And it is really important with a design like this that everything be lined up and straight so that you get a nice neat earring at the end. So I'm going to do that and close these loops really well. My head pins are a little bit of a firm gauge wire. I don't even remember where I got them, but I just pulled them out of my stash. So I need to tidy up my loops a little bit. And I did 2 components like that, and I did 2 with the 3mm copper beads, and that was just to pull in the green. So I'll show you how I organized it. I put the green ones on the outside and put the copper ones on the inside, and then it just pulls in the green, just keeps the green, blue, and copper going through the whole earring design. So I'm going to repeat that same thing again 3 more times with the 2 different beads in my pattern. Okay, this is my last one, and a little thing that I'm doing on these earrings just to add quality. It's a detail, but let me show you. All of my loops are opening toward the back of the earring, and also all of my loops are going in the same direction. So like on my final drop here, the opening is on the bottom. All of these, the opening of the loop is in the back. And so you can definitely do these loops with your pliers if you're good at consistent. I do good simple loops, but it's effortless to get them all the same with the one-step looper. But it does always make the loops going in an upward direction. So when I put this head pin or eye pin in my the little seed beads want to jump in there. When I put it in my tool, I can see that my loop opening is at the top. And so I'm just, I don't pop it closed. I'm maintaining control here. And I'm just going to let it make that nice, fresh, blunt cut. So it's something you can skip with your cutters. And just pull my beads down, so that I'm not crushing or breaking any beads. And then, you know, I can see that my loops are centered on the wire, and, you know, it's done. And then just because of the thickness of the eye pins that I'm using, the one-step looper needs a little assist, but that's okay. A lot of times, most of the time with simple loops, you're going to open and close them again anyway, and that gives you a chance to tidy things up. So now this is mostly a connecting feet. So I'm going to start with another head pin here, and then I'm going to put a seed bead. You see what I did with my pattern: a seed bead, a tile bead, a seed bead, and then I am going to go for my copper component that I made. And here's where I want to pay attention to the opening of the simple loop. I want them all to be strung on this in the same direction. So I'm going to make this the back, and that just gives you a seamless look with your wire. It is just a detail, but you know, I'm making it and assembling it, so why not pay attention to those things. So then another seed bead, another tile bead, another seed bead, and then my second copper, and the same thing, the opening of the loop going strung in the same direction as the back, and then another seed bead, and my last tile bead, and then my last seed bead. So it looks like that. And now I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm right-handed, so I have to turn this, but I'm going to do that same thing again where I put a simple loop. Let me just check my pattern. Sometimes when I'm talking, I'll end up missing a bead or a count, but I'm going to do the same thing again. Put my head pin in the one-step looper, gently close it so that I can see what I'm doing here, and also see that this opening of this loop is on the upside. And now I'm just going to let it make that cut and just pull this down, gently close it. And like I said, it's really important on this design that all your loops be closed well, and so I can see this one is misaligned just ever so slightly. So I'm just going to put my other pliers to it, and now when I take that away, the base of my component is done. So I didn't tidy these loops up because I'm going to open them again and add my last two components on each end, just like that. And again, paying attention that my open side of my component that I'm adding in is going to the back, or what I'm deeming is the back of my earring. And just close that loop really well and put a little work hardening, and so can see where we're going with that. And I'm going to come to this side and do the exact same thing. Open this loop and put this in with the opening to the back. So the first part of the connecting is done. And on the next part, I decided to do wrapped loops. So it looks like that. So the next, this part, I decided to do a wrapped loop rather than a simple loop, because with this tile bead with a star in the middle, I didn't want it to spin around. I wanted to wrap it a little snugly so that this is always facing forward on the ear wire. So it's a little bit tricky, but it can be done. I'll show you exactly how I did it. So I'm just going to, where's my nylon jaw pliers? There they are. I always like to start with a nice straight piece of wire. This is 22 gauge, if I didn't mention. And I'm just going to give myself a little bit of space here and 90-degree bend. Always warm and straighten your wire. Just take a second to do that. It yields a lot better results. And then I'm going to come in with my pliers in about the same place that I did for this bottom loop. So let me just, when I don't make both earrings at the same time, I tend to forget what I did. But going to come right about here. You need a little bit larger loop on the bottom connection just so it holds all of these simple loops, and then you can do a little bit smaller one on the top of the earring. Okay, and just get it nice and centered. And let me just check and see. Yep, they're pretty much the same. I might open that up just a tiny bit more. That's good. Now I'm going to open this and collect all of my simple loops into it. So the best way you can, keeping them in order. And just let them drop down in there, and it looks like that. Now I can close this loop. Now it's just a normal wire wrapped loop. Turn it the right way. And here's where I want to try to match my other earring. So I did 3 wraps. One more time. 2. This is the front of my earring. So I just want to trim in the back and tuck my cut end around to the back. Okay, now I'm going to thread on another one of my blue tile beads. A little kink in my wire. There it goes. And just let that drop down. Make sure I didn't lose my, yep. And now I'm going to do the same thing, another wire wrapped loop at the top so that I can secure this facing forward. So a 90-degree bend, just like that. And this loop can be smaller, so I'm going to come a little bit closer to the tip, closer to the tip of the plier. Wrap it over the top barrel, rotate the barrel, bring this around, center that loop on my bead, just like that. And now I'm going to get a hold of that loop and just wrap really nice, neat wraps. One coil laying right underneath the one previous and coming right down to the top of the bead. And just going to gently push that wire in, and that looks great. My bead is facing forward. Okay. So now I have both earrings at the same point, and the reason I didn't finish this one is because I want the little decoration I'm going to do, the little spiral, I want them to be the same. So I'm just going to take my time and line these up and cut my second earring. So when I coil those, they'll be the same. And that is the plan. And so now I'm just going to come here, turn this way, and on the very tip of my round nose pliers, just get a little loop. That's the start. And I'm just going to push this in really small increments slowly against my finger all the way up to my bead. And I'm just going to bend it down and use my nylon jaw pliers to snuggle it really close to the top of the bead, and just take a second to straighten everything. Need to give this one more turn. I am a little bit of a perfectionist with my jewelry, so like a little teeny bit of it being off will make me a little crazy. But that is ready to add to my ear wires. Let me find the opening on these guys right there. And I'm just going to feed that on like that and close it really well. And look at that gorgeous earring. It is so beautiful. I just love it. I feel like sitting here and making 10 more pairs, and you have the beads to do it. There are so many options for making your patterns in this box. And as I said, the daggers would be really pretty. Even you can put a ball head pin through your pinch bead and make longer dangles if you want this earring to be even more dramatic. And I have to say that you could take this exact technique, and I may just do that and make a pendant to go with your earrings, and just put a large bail at the top, and then you can string leather cord or chain through it and have a pendant and earring set. So I may even do that, and you can do this a little bit, alter your pattern for a pendant so that this is a bit longer, and maybe use some of the larger beads, but all the beads coordinate, so that would just be beautiful. So I'm going to repeat that exact same thing on my second earring and get them to match as best I can. I am sitting here finishing this one. I absolutely love this design, and I was thinking, since we received in this box this same bead in the green, and it looks so great, the pendant could be with the green, and kind of switch it up a little bit. And I wanted to use this on my other design, but for making a pendant, that would be absolutely gorgeous as your center drop with this design. So I may adjust my second video and because there are plenty of other things that I could use it to replace this drop with. Oh my goodness, as you can see, you guys, these beads inspire me. They ignite creativity. I highly recommend this company. I will put links in the description box to the Kraftika company. I'll go ahead and link their other box that they do as well, called Czech Beads Exclusive. This is what I made with that box. I just finished this yesterday. That box is also so lovely. There are always 26 items, at least 26 items in the box, and they are curated. This month's was packed with hearts. I can also link that video in the description box if you missed it. It is a really fun, easy project, and it's comfortable. I love my bracelet. I've enjoyed wearing it so much. So I thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody's safe and well and having fun on your beading mats, and I will see you in the next video.